Yasis, are you having a hard time with Greek genders? Not sure which one is which or how to really identify them? Don't worry, because in today's Greek Basics, we're going to learn about the 3 Greek genders, how to use them, and how to identify them. Alright, let's get into it. Hey everyone, quick editor's note here. We now have our Instagram account where we will be posting frequently Greek vocabulary, grammar, information, resources, updates, and much more, so don't forget to give it a follow. Alright, that is all. Have a great day. First of all, in Greek, all words have a gender, and we have 3 genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. Now, gender assigning can seem a little bit random because, for example, chair is feminine, table is neuter, and wall is masculine. Apart from certain exceptions, I should say, genders can be a little random. However, how do we identify what gender a word is? There are 2 main ways to do that. One of those ways is by looking at the article being used. O, I, to are the 3 main and most common articles being used. These roughly translate to the, making them definite articles. We also have enas, mia, ena, which roughly translate to a or an, making them indefinite articles. O is for masculine, I is for feminine, and to is for neuter. For example, o Giorgos, η Maria, το νερό. Now that we have established that we can recognize the gender by the 3 main articles, it's time to talk about the second way to identify what gender a word is. A very common theme in Greek grammar is the katálηξη, or ending, meaning the ending of the word will change based on different rules, and from that alone we can identify what gender a word will be, by looking simply at its ending. Let's see how that works. For masculine, we have a specific set of endings: as, is, and os. If a word ends with one of these, then that means it is masculine. Or if I should say more specifically, an adjective or a noun. Let's see an example. Andras, meaning man, ends in as. And as we saw before, as ending is masculine, so Andras is a masculine word. Same thing with the word athletes. This also ends in is, which is a masculine ending as we saw before. So clearly now we know athletes is masculine. Moving on to feminine, we have another set of endings: a and I. Again here, if a word ends with either of these, then it is feminine. Let's look at an example. The word kori ends with I, so it is feminine. Neuter has the most endings out of all the genders, but for now we're going to see the 3 most common ones. Those are o, I, and ma. Let's take a look at an example. Βουνό, ending with o, making it neuter. Be careful though, the feminine I and the neuter I have the same sound but written differently. Especially in the beginning, it is easy to mix them up, so make sure you're using the right one. The genders that we just saw are not the only ones that exist in Greek. However, they are used by a big majority of the words and they are very common to come across. One thing to note here is the ending os actually exists in all 3 genders. Words in os can either be masculine, feminine, or neuter. But then you're going to ask, how do I really identify that? Well, the thing is that you can't exactly tell. The way that you can tell is either by the context or by the article being used. Simply the ending here alone is not enough to give you enough guidance. To wrap things up slowly, I also want to mention the less common endings to identify the genders here. However, I do need to note that these are only specifically for nouns. There is another set for adjectives, but those deserve their own video as there's much more to unpack there. Alright, let's see them. For masculine nouns, we have ous and eas, omega and ou for feminine, ni, sigma, imo, ro, and as well as I for neuter, with actually very few words ending in these ones. One more rule about the genders is that we have a lot of foreign words in Greek that have different endings than the ones we explained or saw before. In that case, a lot of these words we simply put them in neuter gender, unless of course they are names. In that case it's a bit different. One last very important thing that I want to talk about is that both nouns and adjectives can be declined in the 4 cases that we have in Greek. That is done by slightly changing the ending each time. Now, what I showed you before is the base form of the words. Now that can be a little scary, but it's a lot less than I made it out to be. The biggest key factor here is simply remembering really what to put in which situation. Now, about the cases, that is a video for another time, as that topic is going to be quite long. So it does deserve its own separate video, which I'm going to be creating in the future. Alright, that will be all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope I helped you understand genders a little bit better and how it works in Greek. Now as for the cases and how we decline them, that will be on a future video as well. Alright, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye!